What's going on YouTube? Chris from Out West with Chris, and I am here to do a BattlBox unboxing. This is the Pro Plus for Mission 28. So this box is probably going to be pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know all of the items. I know a few of them, and I'm pretty stoked on them. There's some cool stuff in here from what I know. And this is a theme that has been heavily requested for quite some time on the BattlBox forums, and I think just in general as well. So let's dive on in and check out what's inside BattlBox Mission 28. Where's the chopper at? Okay. This is cool. So the sit rep is Civil Unrest. They've got a few things in here that I'm stoked about. This is an urban survival box. And just looking at this just already, I am pretty stoked. So one thing I want to do before we get too far into this is just have a talk about value. A lot of times I'll see complaints where people say, oh, I would never pay, you know, $40 for a pair of waterproof socks. That's ridiculous. Well, when you get it in a subscription box, you have to keep in mind, you didn't pay $40 for it. You just didn't. Okay, you paid $150 for a box, right? So with the value of this Pro Plus being $359.78 and you paying $149.99 for it, for every dollar worth of gear in here, you actually paid 41.6 cents, okay? For every 41 cents you spend in this, you got a dollar's worth MSRP of gear, basically. So to keep it simple, if an item was $10, you really only paid $4.16 for that item. You didn't pay $10 for it. You just didn't, okay? So let's take a look. The first item in your basic box is a knife from Kershaw. This is the Kershaw Shuffle. And I'm not going to open this, and I'll explain why at the end of the video. But I have a couple of these shuffles. It's not my favorite knife from Kershaw, I'll be totally honest. It is a, what did they say, $13.47 value, which means you probably paid like $5 for this thing. So pretty good buy, $5 for a Kershaw knife. But you know, it's a pretty cool knife. It's got a nice textured grip on it. It is a bead blasted finish, CR13 MOV, so, you know, not the best steel in the world, but it'll work. The blade is a 2¼ inch, or 2.4 inch blade, and when it's closed, it is 3¼ inches long. So the Shuffle is a decent knife. You know, you're gonna need a knife to cut cordage. You can use it self-defense. It's not the best self-defense knife out there, but overall, the fact that there's a knife in the basic box and it's not, you know, a cheap knife. It's from a reputable brand, Kershaw. One of my favorite knives is a Kershaw, the Ken Onion Leak. I love that knife. This one is a pretty good pocket knife. I do carry this from time to time. I switch up my pocket knives frequently. I do, like I said, I have a couple of them. I wouldn't have bought a few of them if I didn't think that they were all right. So the Kershaw half ton would be a great knife for this kit. But this is a really solid option. And again, the fact that there's a knife in a basic box, that's so cool. That's really, really cool. The next item is this. And if you don't know what this is, this could potentially be one of the most important tools in an urban survival situation, okay? And this is a Silcox key. This is a key that will keep you alive. There are 4 different sizes to the key, and what this key does is it opens water faucets. So in an urban environment, building managers do not have hand turn faucets on the exterior of their building. They do have faucets though, okay? And 99 times out of 100, they will have a square top on them where you need a key like this to turn the water on, okay? But they don't want just some random dude, you know, coming over and turning it on and washing his feet, taking a bum bath in it, right? And in an urban survival environment, buildings will still have water in them, okay? They might not be pressurized, but in the pipes in the building, for days and days and days and days after a shit hit the fan scenario occurs, there will be water in those buildings, especially multi-story buildings, okay? And because it's on a ground level, typically these hose bibs, you'll be able to walk up with your Silcox key and simply plug in the right size of key and just twist, and water will come out because it will gravity flow out of the building 9 times out of 10. So this is super critical. Now, if it's been months and months that water has been sitting in those pipes, there's a chance it could taste nasty. There's a chance that, you know, bacteria could start growing in the pipes and the water if it's sitting there untreated for a while. There's a chance of that. So you will want to, you know, do a visual check on the water that you get out of one of these hose bibs in a building and possibly treat it. Maybe drink it through a filter. That's always a good idea, just to be on the safe side. But early on in a scenario, that water is going to be totally, 9 times out of 10, totally potable water that you can drink. And if you don't have one of these or some other tool to turn that, it could be a pain in the butt. So pretty cool that a Silcox key is included in this urban survival kit. And on the forums, you know, we've always bantered about what would be in an urban survival type kit, and that has always come up. And I brought it up, a few other people have brought it up, that a Silcox key is a must. And so I'm super stoked to see it in there. Again, $8.89 value, MSRP. The next thing up is from a company called Timberline. This is an EDC pocket tool. Comes in a little Kydex sheath with on a key ring. So that's kind of cool. This is a $7.99 value, so $8 value. And it is just a little pocket tool. Looks like there's a bottle opener on here, cordage cutter, oxygen tank key, and a cutting edge that's not super sharp, but it can be sharpened is my guess. Like I don't think I could even cut my finger on it. There's also a flathead screwdriver. These little tools, they're pretty cool. I'll definitely be sharpening that edge up. I have several of these styles of tools, and it doesn't hurt to have these on you pretty much any time. So I find a lot of use. I have a lever gear card, and I find a lot of use out of my lever gear card. So stuff like this is pretty useful. Moving on to the next item is this something from ReadyMan, and you guys know that I have been somewhat, if you follow me much, you'll know I've been somewhat critical of ReadyMan in the past. Reading about this, these sound kind of cool. So this is a ReadyMan card, but it's less of a card and more tools. And basically what these are called lock blockers. It's an access denial card. So if you are able to get into a building and you want to lock yourself into a room or lock off a few rooms to keep intruders from coming in, basically what you're going to do is you're going to stick these into a lock, and it will make it so people can't utilize that lock. That's pretty cool. So it essentially makes it so somebody with a key card or something like that can't get access to those rooms because you've essentially disabled the lock by blocking the pins, the lock pins. It's going to work on most locks. They do say on the card, and I want to point this out, that you don't want to test on locks that you'll need, because if one of these gets stuck in, then you're getting a whole new lock. The tool can also be used as a lockpick rake and a mini saw for additional emergency situations. It says it doesn't work on all locks, and it says please practice carefully or risk permanently disabling your lock. And it does note watch the video. So I haven't seen the video yet. I don't know a lot about these. The premise of it is pretty dang cool, so I'll just say that right up front. The value on it, $12.95. It's a cool idea, and for the idea alone, I see some value in it. Here I go being critical of Ready Man again. Everybody's gonna think I have something against these guys, but it's basically just stamped metal, so that seems a little bit high. Although I realize that they put some thought into this. One of the cool things about this though, it does come in a pretty cool little case, and it was specifically designed for this box. So that's awesome. The fact that BattlBox said, hey, this is what we're doing, you got anything? And they thought about it and came up with this Access to Now card. Still really cool. I gotta find some locks that I could test this out on and give it a swing, see what it's all about. But the premise of it is really cool. I really dig that, really like it. Next up, in the basic box, the hits just keep coming. This is a manual pump. So you could use this pump to pump fuel, oil, basically any liquid, and that's pretty neat. Comes with a lot of different hoses and fittings, you know, all that stuff. Basically, you're gonna have a hose to drop into a tank, and then you'll also have a hose. It looks like you got two hoses here, which is kind of nice. You'll be able to drop these into a fuel tank in a vehicle, pump out some fuel, which could help get you going on your way. If you needed to get out of town, to get to a bug out location, or you know, something along those lines. Something pretty cool to have. The value on this, let's see, is $16.99. It doesn't say who made this, so can't really tell you that. But it looks like you got a little bit of everything here. A couple of adapters to change the sizes of your hose if you have to get into a small space, which is pretty handy. I'm liking this. It looks like it's pretty well thought out. Good addition to an urban survival kit. I'm gonna say thumbs up to that. Next up, you get an e-tool, a folding shovel and trenching tool with pouch. It comes in a pouch right here. So this is an e-tool, and this has been a super high requested item on the forums. So basically, you've got a two-piece tool right here. This will thread on, and you have the option to run it as a pick, a shovel, like this, and basically, you know, you're gonna just thread that up. Takes a little while. Thread that up, it's gonna lock it in place. You've got a shovel. There's some serrations on the side, maybe for some primitive prying. You know, you'll be able to dig a little cat pit to take a crap in. You know, you'll be able to dig holes. If you have a cache, survival cache, you could dig one up. You could bury valuables. All sorts of stuff that you could do with an e-tool. You could use this in self-defense situations too. You know, you could use this for making a little fire pit, gardening in an urban, long-term urban survival situation, or even, you know, a long-term survival situation in general. This could go into camping kits. You could use this for a variety of different things. So pretty cool to have an e-tool. This isn't the highest quality e-tool that you'll be able to find. You know, there are some companies that make some really expensive and pretty high quality e-tools. This one has an MSRP of $24.60. I like that it comes in a pouch. It's pretty lightweight. Time will tell if it holds up to some abuse. So it looks like it will. It looks like it's pretty well made. Nice little handle on it with some texture. I like this. This is pretty cool. Just the fact that this is in your basic box is pretty neat. Lots of cool stuff in the basic box. The knife, the Silcox key, which I'm a huge fan of, the e-tool, your EDC pocket tool, the pump, and your Ready Man card. And the more I think about this, the more this is actually growing on me. So we'll see what I think here in 20 minutes when I'm done recording. Okay, so your cost for the basic box, $24.99. The value, $94.89. That is pretty awesome. So let's move on to your advanced box, $49.99. They are saying the value is $159.84. The first item in here, it's a $40 value. It's from Ready Man as well. And I'm pretty interested to see. This is their Gray Man pack. It's gray. So that makes it Gray Man, right? Right? So if you don't know what the term Gray Man means, basically Gray Man it's kind of a survival tactic or philosophy. And basically what it is if you're in an urban situation and you're trying to bug out or you're trying to just survive in an urban situation, you know, you don't want to stand out. You don't want to be the guy carrying, you know, a big fancy backpack that has, you know, a whole bunch of patches on it, you know, don't tread on me t-shirt, you know, you don't want to be all tacticaled up, okay? Because somebody will look at you and they'll either think, okay, that's a threat, I don't want to mess with them, or they're going to think, okay, that's somebody that's going to have gear, let me go get my buddies and we're going to fuck that dude up, right? And we're going to take his gear. So a pack like this, you're going to blend in, and you know, right off the bat, it looks like it's pretty well made, the stitching anyways. It's got a nice feel to it. $40, good job, kudos, Ready Man, for keeping your branding subtle. I do appreciate that. The pack itself, lots of pretty cool storage options. You got a lot of quick access pockets for small items. So I like being able to organize my packs. I like quick access. That handle right there is a little bit small, it looks like, but overall, this looks like a pretty cool pack. Let me see if I can open up this one. Okay, so it's not a top loader, it's a side loader, and each side gives you access to the other side. So that's an interesting design. It does have a sleeve for, you can put a laptop in it. It's not specifically for a laptop, but for a bladder, and you can just run the tube out through one of these upper ones. So if you wanted a water bladder with a tube, like a Camelback or something like that, you could definitely do that. The exterior looks pretty cool. It has a little bit of this shock cord, I guess it would be shock cord, I don't know. Where you can tighten it down, but you could put like a coat, so if it's warm you can take your coat off and put it in here. You could put a bedroll in there if you wanted to. So you have some external storage options. Internally, this thing's pretty cool because it has, let me fold it inside out so you guys can see. It has MOLLE straps on the inside, okay, which is a new take on things that I haven't seen much of. I don't think I've ever seen a pack like this. Practically, I'm gonna have to use it a little bit to see how well it works from a practical standpoint, but it looks pretty cool. Oh, and there's a, oh, there is a top load. Okay, so that's really noisy, but you can top load this thing. And here you'll see the MOLLE straps right here. So you could do crossway, mag pouches. That's interesting. Interesting design. $40 value, I think that's totally fair, totally reasonable. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up, and I'm excited to use this pack. I don't know what I'll use it for. I already have like a get home bag that I really like. But I don't know, maybe I'll have to test this out. This is pretty cool. Good job, Ready Man. I'm stoked about this. And again, the more I think about it, the more this is growing on me. So thumbs up. I really like what you guys put out for this urban survival kit. The next item in the advanced box is from Ontario Knife Company. It's the Parapry first release. And you also get about 6 feet of paracord that it says the value's free. I'm guessing that this is to go along with this item from Ontario Knife Company. And yeah, you've got basically a piece of metal that will function as a pry bar. It's got 2 holes cut into it so that you can thread your paracord in to make a little paracord handle. Pry bar, chisel, pretty cool. Once you get the paracord on it, it's going to feel better in the hand, that's for sure. So this is made from 1075 high carbon steel. It does feel pretty good. Pry bar in an urban survival situation, you can have a ton of uses for this. You know, gaining entry into rooms or buildings, prying open containers, crates if you're in a warehouse district, you know, that type of thing. You could use this for defense. I wouldn't want to get hit by that. Pretty cool. Once you get the paracord on it, I think it'll be even cooler. So the value on this, and this is a first release, it sounds like, $24.95. I think that's a pretty fair value. Awesome. I'm really liking Ontario Knife Company lately. It can be sharpened very easily with a rat tail file or other sharpening device. It is made in the USA. Cool. Factory edge not included, as some prefer not to have one on this type of tool. However, with the 1074, it can be sharpened very easily, like it said. Pretty neat. So the Ontario Knife Company Parapry and the paracord, like I said before, it's a $25 value. That rounds out your advanced box, the pack and this item, which is pretty cool. I gotta say, so far, so good. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what's next. So your next level is the Pro Box. The Pro Box actually only has 1 item in it. There's a cool story behind this, kind of. I think it's cool. And yeah, the Pro cost is $99.99. The value of the Pro is $269.79. So the 1 item is this guy right here. You got a pry bar, like a mini pry bar, and you actually get another item from Ontario Knife Company, which is awesome. And it's actually another pry bar. So this is a quick access breaching tool. Pretty cool. Like a glass break here. Another pry design. Not sharpened, by the way. They're not going to ship these sharp because they know some people don't want one sharpened. And yeah, micarta handle with a good grip. This is pretty cool. Made in the USA by Ontario Knife Company. The value on this, $99.95. So awesome that another item that's made in the USA. This is also made from the same high carbon steel. It looks like it is, yeah, it's quite a bit bigger. So something like this, again, you're gonna have a lot of different things you can do with a pry bar. It's gonna help you get into rooms that you wanna have access to. It is a full tang, you know, it's 1 full piece of metal with a nice beefy handle on it. Pretty cool. Now the thing that makes this even cooler is, as this box was being thought up by the folks at BattlBox, the owner of BattlBox, Daniel, Battle Dan as we like to call him on the forums, was thinking, okay, I need some sort of a pry bar or some sort of breaching tool, okay? So basically this is a pry bar. He started thinking about it. He called the folks over at Ontario Knife Company, said, hey, you know, could you make something like this? So pretty interesting and pretty cool that he actually helped design this. Wrote up a sketch, and from my understanding, the sketch is pretty dang close. What he drew up on paper is pretty dang close to what the engineers at OKC ended up putting out. You know, that's one thing I can really appreciate about BattlBox is, you know, the CEO, he brainstorms this stuff and thinks about it. Like the Bastion Braza, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Bastion Braza from the EDC box a few months ago, Battle Dan, Daniel, helped design portions of that knife as well. So it's pretty neat. This is a exclusive first access to BattlBox subscribers. We're the first ones to get our hands on this item. And it sounds like we're the first to get our hands on this item too. This one is definitely way more polished in presentation, and it feels really good in the hand to me. I think that this is going to be a pretty cool tool to have in an urban survival situation. This one I might keep as a backup. I don't know, but this one is really nice, and it comes with a $99 price tag, which I think it's worth it. Okay, so that is your Pro box. So that leaves us Pro Plus. Like I said before, $150 cost for the Pro Plus and basically $360 value. The knife of the month isn't a knife, so don't get your panties in a bunch, folks. I've seen that happen before where, you know, we've got something other than a knife and people got all hissy fit. Let's just see what it is. This is from Off Grid Tools, and I've heard quite a bit about this. There's some infamous video with some lady named Tracy on YouTube. So go to offgridtools.com or search it on the YouTubes, and you can see what the hubbub of Tracy is all about. Evidently, she uses this for a variety of survival applications. See, you can even open boxes with your chisel, your breaching tool. That breaching tool is helping me breach this box. That's amazing. Okay, anyways, I was just kind of kidding around there. What do we got? What do we got? Ooh, damn, this is cool. Oh, Off Grid Tools Survival Axe Elite. Made in the USA. Stamped really big on the handle. Okay, this is pretty badass. That's not super sharp. That'll need some sharpening. So you have an axe blade, essentially. You have a nail pry. I'm just going through what I see. Another nail pry. A hammer type head or a cat's paw. Hammer head and claw. Okay, right there. Gas valve shutoff wrench. I think that is this. I wish there was some sort of, you know, that's why I should watch the videos. I like to be surprised when I'm opening something. This thing feels great in the hand. This is an $89.99 value, and this is pretty cool. It's a bottle opener, of course, because every tool has a bottle opener. It has a hardened steel glass breaker on the tip. It looks like a cordage cutter or seatbelt cutter right down here. Lanyard hole. Like I said, bottle opener. Gosh, there's so much stuff in here. Hex sockets. And there's one in here where you can actually use hex tools. So you can have a tool kit. And, whoa! Huh, look at that. That's a Milwaukee blade right there. Oh, cool. It kind of has an angle on the handle. So that's the angle. Yeah, that's going to work pretty good. So you have a saw. Watch yourself tightening that back up, folks. That's pretty neat. Push and twist, and the saw comes out. What else do we have? A wire twist is built in. This is awesome. This is pretty cool. I know it's not a knife, but I like it. I don't think it came... It didn't come with like a sheath or a cover. So I might have to talk to some of my buddies that make some Kydex and see if anybody can get a Kydex cover, because I'm going to want to sharpen this. This isn't too sharp, but because there's no cover, you don't want it super sharp until you have some sort of cover in place for it. But really cool, made in the USA, off-grid survival, the Survival Axe Elite. The fact that it has a built-in saw, I mean, this covers so many tools you would need in an urban survival situation. Hacksaw blade, so you can not only cut wood with it, which I really wouldn't even recommend. I'd recommend cutting your wood with the axe, but metal pipes, stuff like that. Really kind of cool. You know, a lot of different applications, and it totally fits into this box. I like it. I like this. This is pretty badass. I was really excited to actually get this. I knew this was going to be, or something like it was going to be in the box. To get it in hand and take a look at it, you know, it looks pretty dang cool. Lots of cool tools on here. And yeah, this has to be in a kit. The only drawback to this is that it's a little bit heavy. So lugging it around is going to be a little bit of a downer. But, I mean, you've got some really cool tools to go with, you know, your urban survival stuff. I like this kit. So those are your items from BattlBox Mission 28, Urban Survival, Civil Unrest. Yeah, I'm stoked, happier than ever to be a BattlBox subscriber. I forgot to mention it at the beginning of the video. I always forget, but I didn't pay for this box. So for what that's worth, you know, you might think I'm a little bit biased. I'm gonna tell you right up front, I'm a huge BattlBox fan. I've been looking forward to this mission for a long time. There have been a ton of people that have been looking forward to this. I think that this is a great way to approach this mission. Some really cool items. Like I said before, I'm not gonna open this Kershaw Shuffle. What I'm gonna do with this is, once my channel hits 3,556, 3,556 subscribers, which is gonna happen pretty soon, we're gonna do some really cool giveaways on the channel. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna throw this in the vault so that I don't get tempted to open it. But this will be one of the prizes. If you like the video, please click that thumbs up button. When you do, I really appreciate it. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Questions, comments, anything like that. If you haven't subscribed yet, take a look at the channel. I do quite a bit of stuff. I'm outside a lot. So if it looks like something that you're interested in, please hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna go tinker with some of this stuff a little bit. As always, thanks for getting out west with Chris.